Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We are pleased to bring this webinar presentation to you, hosted by Teamworks. Today's topic is landscaping, a day in the life. And we are being joined by Kyle McDonald. And Kyle will talk you through some of the pain points, issues, and concerns facing many individuals who work at landscaping businesses in a variety of roles, and how digital transformation can ease some of these pain points, as well as address the opportunities to scale and grow for the future. A couple housekeeping items. This event is recorded and we will make this recording available to everyone after the event. It will also be posted on our website. If you have any questions, please use the chat feature to submit them. We will address all questions towards the end of the presentation, as everyone except for the speakers are on mute. I'd like to introduce Kyle McDonald. He is a National Solutions Engineer with Axsoft. He's based in Denver, and he has over a decade in sales and solution engineering. Kyle, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for that introduction. Hey guys, Kyle McDonald, like you mentioned, based out of Denver, been doing this for a little over a decade now. But without further preamble, we'll go ahead and just dive right into it. What does the daily life of a landscaper look like, right? And what type of issues would someone encounter? First and foremost, just driving the job sites, right? I believe it's one of the biggest kind of points on here. Just having to drive back and forth to the office, before and potentially after each job, it's not only a waste of time, but gas as well. It's, especially important right now with the gas climate and prices. Another important thing about driving to site is just, how to get there, right? Making sure that the route is efficient as possible, and actually getting there on time. So another issue is just inventory management, maybe assets such as mowers, trucks, trimmers, weed whackers, etc. So are we leaving these items at customer sites? Are we forgetting to bring them with us? All issues that I think that every single one of us has encountered before. It kind of tied along with as equipment transportation. So just like managing your assets, it's fairly imperative to keep track of your vehicles, where they are, maintenance schedules, etc. So it's especially inevitably important to find out where they are, just in case something breaks down, right? The processing payments, the pain of that, maybe not doing it instantly after a job, having the customer call in can result in delayed payments as well. And what about receiving new jobs? Are customers, again, calling in? Do they have the convenience of like a form online? How do you keep track of both the jobs and which employees are available as well? And then even just clocking in, clocking out, right? It's a pretty simple concept, but I still come across companies on a daily basis that still handwrite in their own time, or even forgetting how long that they worked, right? Or per job. So I can't imagine how much money is just lost due to illegibility, forgetfulness, or just heaven forbid, malfeasance on that. So what about preparing for a service call, right? So what are some challenges with just prepping for it? One is poor scheduling, overlap, scheduling conflict, or maybe just too much of a gap in between jobs. So all that, or like we talked about earlier, just all that time wasted by having to go in the office first or having to go back after each job as well. Getting paperwork physically handed to your employees. So we talked a little about like illegible, timekeeping paperwork, or just any type of paperwork, right? They just can't read, and the paperwork, it's slow, right? So, and then also just how easy it is to lose it. That, or, like I mentioned earlier, just any equipment being used as well. So what are some solutions to these problems? And one for scheduling, it's our dispatching and calendar portion of our software. It's very easy to read scheduling online, and it's up-to-date calendar considering it's in the cloud, right? So it's instant. And we have easy and quick communication between office and crew. So by being able to push jobs to your employee, all those details are just digital and immediate. So no more need to have to waste time or having to head into the office prior to each job. And so now that everything is digital, and no worry to ever have to lose, actual paperwork, right? It's legible, it's quick, it's easy. So then when we're on the site, when we're performing the sales call, you were dispatched the employee to the site. Now what, right? So what are some other challenges faced while being on site? One is just, not knowing the details upon arrival and what work needs to be completed, right? That can significantly reduce errors with digitizing just everything, right? We have like bad and lost paperwork. Maybe something's changed once you get there. Paperwork, taking too long to complete. Maybe it's just convoluted with, unnecessary information for your employee to fill out. And then the other one that we touched on earlier, just not being able to accept payments in the field. So again, some solutions for this would be, real-time updates to not only your employee, but to your customer as well, and to ensure just the right work is actually being done. And now that everything is digital, we can have decision-based logic to kind of really streamline those forms, right? To get rid of like all that superfluous information on there, make it just super quick and easy for both the employee and the customer. And then with the ability to accept payments on spot, we can now avoid any additional phone calls or missteps. I mean, just think of the ease of spending, of sending your customer the job scope, doing it, and then having them sign off right away and pay it on the spot. And again, very simple. So now that the job is complete, and now what, right? So, and some issues with that. I mean, I see it all the time is drivers may just idle, just sit there on standby. Maybe some jobs get canceled, and new jobs come in. So it's really difficult to try to manage, just several employees' times with that. So, and if that happens, I mean, think of all the time wasted by having to drive back to the office, right? So, and also just think of how are they clocking in and clocking out, manually, maybe at the end of the week. So like I mentioned earlier, it's pretty easy to forget exact, working hours. And again, we've all had this happen before, but just really easy to leave equipment laying around and forget to take it with us, right? And so, like, how are they keeping track of equipment? So I know I've come across this before, is people leaving, trimmers or whatever just on my lawn. So, but solutions to all these problems, and one is just always having a easy, reliable, quick communication between office and field employees. So we can accomplish this by either like our in-house messenger or our dispatch system. Along with that is our auto updates, notifications, just straight to your employees' phones. So, and with that, there's no need to head back in the office. So yeah, instant time savings right there, whether you're 10 minutes from the office or even, an hour. So, and now with timekeeping, with being on the phone, it just, again, so much simpler and easier. So easy clock ins and clock outs for jobs, breaks, lunches. I mean, it's fully customizable with all that. So, and then also utilizing our inventory management just makes it really easy to keep track of all assets being used on the job. So, hey, no more leaving equipment on customers' lawns or leaving it back in the office and forgetting about it. So, thus far we've been talking about a lot of the employees in the field, but what about challenges back in the office? So back on those like office workers. So one of them is just not being able to accept customer requests outside of normal business hours. I mean, just think of all those missed opportunities if you have to accept calls just within, an 8 to 5 kind of normal business day. So with that, like, how about just adding a very simple form on your website for customers to request, certain jobs and timeframes. Another one is just really poor customer communication. So with our dispatching system, we have auto text to customers with, ETA, job details, and all of that. And another poor communication is to landscapers in the field. And believe it or not, I actually still come across employers using pagers. So not only do we have that in-house messaging system, but the ability to look at, everyone's calendars, help streamline schedules, conflicts, gaps, just to make, the employee's time just a lot more efficient. So just think about how many more jobs you can do with a efficient scheduling system. So other roles, in the office, maybe, admin, manager. So what are some challenges that they face? So what about like antiquated paperwork, right? So which can help out also if, retaining employees. Not only is it easy to train new employees with just the ease of software, but providing great customer support and up-to-date software for your team is just a surefire way of, of better employee retention. And as you guys know, efficient employee is just a happy one, right? Also, what I've seen before, just too much paperwork or even lost paperwork, like we kind of spoke about earlier. It just always seems to be an issue. And then also along with, illegibility, physically having to grab them or hand them out or anything. So going digitally, just instantly solves all those issues. And just think of all the instant savings from even just the wasted printer paper costs as well. And then you get instant ROI by, with reducing all those costs along with accurate, time pay, reducing inefficient fuel usages, and again, especially with the high gas prices currently going on right now. So again, as we just saw, Teamworks can really help out with, all those challenges with it being just a single all-in-one platform. And so we can help out with, and again, just job dispatching, wireless forms, mobile timekeeping, our messaging system, being able to do mobile payments, our dispatching scheduler. We can also do barcode scanning, and then I'll touch on our API integration as well here in a second. So a couple case studies, a couple companies that I've worked with that I'd like to mention. And one, this first company, it just, really prime example of someone that was just still using paper forms, in the 21st century. So just they're wasting a lot of time by having employees having to come to the office before and after each job. There's a lot of lost and illegible paperwork on just literally a daily basis. So, and they even had issues with employees just forgetting to fill out anything at all. So, and these guys, I think they probably lost a couple, assets and equipment just being at customer sites. So you can imagine that, having all that wasted time by having to go back to each site. There's a lot of time wasted, gas, and then just money overall by having to retrace all their steps for the whole day. So where we came in, so Teamworks came in and helped them solve all these issues by providing just a very seamless way of sending information to their employees digitally. Employees now have digital forms and checklists to fill out in the field, and they no longer forget to put any equipment back in the truck. So also we're able to provide, new features and solutions for them that they really haven't even thought of or couldn't even do before. So such as, taking photos, grabbing audio files, signatures in the field, and along with payments as well. So, and again, just it really saved the company, money, time by just digitizing their analog paperwork process, and allowed employees to capture just, again, more information, just aligning with, good customer support. So the second case study, fairly similar, but these guys were just really unorganized. So they were actually still attempting to arrange, dozens of their employee schedules on a whiteboard. So that's not even accounting for, the job location either. So they really benefited from our dispatching software. So they have now access and ability to use our scheduling, dispatching software prior to sending the employee out, and actually provides accurate times to customer as well. So there's no more downtime for employees, like in between jobs, giving actually more time to the customer and to ensure, repeat business as well. And so with them is they were very easy to identify, like I mentioned, scheduling gaps and or conflicts. So I spoke a little bit earlier about API integration. So with our Teamworks Concierge, we, unlike other software companies, we really get highly involved. And so with us, you get free customer support up to $18,000 annually of professional services team, which helps with those APIs, which helps with that integration into any of your other softwares. So if you're using like a payroll or billing software, like ADP, QuickBooks, Kronos, or any other type of Microsoft platform, and then just about anything that will accept our information, and we can talk to it. We can integrate with it. With that said, we also provide monthly usage analyses, quarterly business reviews. So all that you get with the TeamWorks platform. So, and then we're also providing free 14-day trial of our software as well. So kind of a try it before you buy it type of mentality. So you want to touch on that, Ana Maria?
I do. So
Yeah.
we're very excited about this opportunity because we're seeing customers such as yourselves boost their profitability and productivity with TeamWorks. And our trial opportunity is exclusive, and it's for 2 weeks that you will have free use with a number of licenses so that you could start to experience the multiple features that we offer and automate many of your current costly and time-consuming manual processes. Some of the benefits that you'll enjoy include a 61% increase in time saved on workforce management activities, 69% greater savings on labor costs, because obviously you'll be able to do more with less, schedule more jobs, take care of more customers, increase customer satisfaction on a daily basis, as well as employee satisfaction. And also you'll see a 64% more time gained back by your administrators when coordinating the workforces. So really being able to understand the visibility, the productivity, the output, as well as what's kind of consuming their time on the day-to-day tasks during their actual hours, whether they're en route, leaving a job site, or at the job site themselves. So we're pretty confident that after 14 days of using our software, you'll want to continue using it to drive further revenue and savings alike for your company. So please sign up today, because this is the limited time offer that we want to make sure that you understand the availability of it. And we have a couple of questions, Kyle, for you from our audience today. So thank you everyone for submitting those questions. The first one is, Kyle, what are your thoughts on the growth of the overall landscaping businesses? And the follow-up there is, how can businesses set themselves up for success versus the increase in demand and competition?
Yeah, and kind of like what I touched on earlier. I mean, even like landscaping businesses here, in Denver, I've had people, show up late, or I'm not getting, as a customer, right? I'm not seeing good communication of me when they're accurate times they're going to arrive, accurate times what they're actually going to do. I've seen shears and stuff being left on my lawn. So imagine being that company to where you've solved all those issues. Good customer support, like I mentioned earlier, will lead to good, customer retention and repeat business. So, and I feel like this is a business where, everything is still pretty, antiquated. So it'd be an easy leg up on your competitors by, hey, making everything digital, talking to your customers, talking with your employees in the field. And imagine how many more jobs you can do if you actually have accurate scheduling and efficient scheduling as well. Being able to dispatch to a person in the field or employee in the field to a particular site because this person is closer versus someone else is on the other side of town. So I'm really being able to ramp up business with efficiency and good customer support, I think, are the main two components there.
Thank you, Kyle. We have another question, which is concerning the ROI. So how soon can companies realize ROI from investing in TeamWorks, and what are some ways that they can measure the ROI when they're transforming and digitizing some of their daily operations?
Yeah, good question. So it just depends on how quickly it's going to take you to ramp up on our system. And so for some people I've seen, if they only have a couple pieces of paperwork that they're trying to digitize and maybe, a dozen or two employees, maybe we can get them fully up, and going within a couple of weeks. If we're talking more like integration type, solutions, and maybe hundreds of people and hundreds of forms, maybe a couple of months. So, but you could, as soon as you start using this, and you can expect to see just an instant return on investment. And that can be really easily solved by just, hey, how much time are we putting towards this job? How much money are we getting in? What we were doing last month, and now what are we doing now that, we don't have to waste all this time on, again, wasted paperwork, printing paperwork, wasted time with, having employees come in the office, and we can track that stuff just instantly right now, even before you even consider our software. So hopefully that answers
Great, thank
that
you.
question. Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle. And the last question is, which feature is the most popular feature used across businesses today?
Yeah, I'd say in regards to landscaping, what I have seen personally is our dispatching software, or calendar. So I think that one is just absolutely paramount for everything. So that, and then a very close seconds would be our forms. So, and again, you can imagine just the time savings alone with just a calendar system alone, alone on there. And then being able to, send jobs with all those details to your employee instantly in the field. And so we talked about, cancellations, scheduling conflicts, idle times, or in between jobs, or even just like efficiency of, the best route of how to get to that job. Right. So, and that's where our dispatching and our calendar system like really comes in handy. And then, like I said, a close second for forms and being in the field, inventory management, being able to check, having a checklist, making sure we have all the tools needed for the job, making sure we're actually doing the right job, and not forgetting equipment, and that type of stuff. So, yeah. Any other questions?
That's all the questions today from our audience.
Cool. Fantastic.
And I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. For more information, please visit us at axsoft.com/teamworks or dial the number below. Thank you again, Kyle, for sharing your expertise and your experiences with our audience today. And we look forward to working with you on your goals to boost your bottom line. Take care, everyone, and we appreciate your time and energy.
Thank you.